Hello students, today we are going to study chapter 9 Soil. What is soil? Here are some important characteristic features of soil. Soil is one of the most important natural resources. It supports the growth of plant by holding the roots firmly and supplying water and nutrients. It is the home for many organisms. Soil is essential for agriculture. Agriculture provides food, clothing and shelter for all. Soil is thus an inseparable part of life. So here are some important characteristics feature which are telling us that how much soil is important for us. It is one of the most important natural resource like water and sunlight. It supports the growth of plants, hold its roots and provide water and minerals to the plants. It is a home for many organisms. Many small living organisms lives in soil like rabbit, earthworm. It is also essential for agriculture. As we know, crops cannot be grown without soil, so it is very much important for agriculture. And agriculture is very important for us as we depend on agriculture for food, clothing and shelter. So we can say that soil is an inseparable part of our life. We cannot separate soil from our life. Layers of soil. Soil consists of different layers. As you can see in the diagram, it is composed of distinct layers like topsoil, subsoil, parent material and bedrock. Soil profile. Here it is a new term, that is soil profile. A vertical section through different layers of soil is called soil profile. You can see in the diagram the vertical section which is showing different layers. Okay, and each layer is different in texture, in touch, in color, in chemical composition and in depth. These layers are known as horizons. These layers can be called as horizons also. Horizons of soil. The uppermost horizon is generally dark in color as it is rich in humus and minerals. The uppermost horizon, or we can say the uppermost layer, it is dark in color just due to the presence of humus and minerals. The humus makes the soil fertile and provides nutrients to growing plants. Why this humus is necessary for the soil? Because it provides nutrients to the growing plants. This layer is generally soft, porous and can retain more water. This layer is very soft to touch and is porous, so that water can be retained in this. It is called the topsoil or the A horizon. It is called the topsoil or the A horizon. We can say the uppermost layer of the soil is known as the topsoil or A horizon. The next layer has lesser amount of humus but more of minerals. The next layer, which is just beneath the A horizon, is B horizon, or we can say the middle layer or subsoil. It consists of good amount of minerals and less amount of humus. This layer is compact and very hard. The third layer is the sea horizon, which is made up of small lumps of rocks with cracks and crevices. The third layer, which is known as the sea horizon, it consists of small pieces of rocks with cracks and crevices. Below this layer is the bedrock, which is hard and difficult to dig with a spade, and after this layer it is the last layer which is very hard and compact, that is the bedrock. It is so difficult to dig with the spade. It is so compact and hard that cannot be easily digged with the spade. Parts of soil. As you know, weathering of rocks produces small particles of various materials. These include sand and clay. Depends upon the rock from which the particles were formed, that is the present rock. So here are some of the parts of soil. As we know that soil is formed due to weathering of rocks, and the kind of soil depends on the kind of rocks they have been weathered. The mixture of rock particles and humus is called the soil. Here it is the short definition of soil. The mixture of rock particles and humus is called the soil. Living organisms such as bacteria, plant roots and earthworm are also important part of any soil. Living organisms like earthworm and bacteria and plant roots are some of the important parts of soil. Weathering. The soil is formed by the breaking down of rocks by the action of wind, water and climate. This process is known as weathering. So what is weathering? It is the process in which a soil is formed by the breaking down of rocks by the action of some of the agents like wind, water and climate. You can see in the diagram how soil is made due to weathering. as these agents, or we can say as these climatic factors, what they do, they fall on the rocks, and due to different conditions or different wind, by the pressure of wind, sunlight and water, the rocks get the crevices, the cracks appear on the rocks, and slowly the rocks get broken down into smaller particles, and then those smaller particles get broken down to more smaller particles, or we can say very fine particles, and these fine particles are known as soil. Types of soil. The soil is classified on the proportion of particles of various sizes. So types of soil, there are different characteristics on which the soil types depend. It depends on the type of size of the particles of soil. If soil contains greater proportion of big particles, it is called sandy soil. If the soil consists of large amount of big particles, then it is said to be sandy soil. If the proportion of the fine particle is relatively higher, then it is called clay soil. And if the particle size is very small or very fine, then it is said to be clay soil. If the amount of large and fine particles is about the same, then it is called loamy soil. And if the particles are not so large, not so small, then it is said to be the loamy soil. Loamy soil is known as the best soil for agriculture. Properties of soil. Properties of soil is mainly dependent, or we can say we'll study about the percolation rate, we'll study about the moisture of soil. Percolation rate of water in soil. Formula of rate percolation is percolation rate is measured in milliliter upon minutes. Amount of water upon percolation time. How we can take out the percolation rate of a soil? By finding out the amount of water divided by percolation time. What is the meaning of percolation? It is the ability of soil to let the water go inside it. Now second is moisture in soil. Soil moisture is difficult to define because it means different things in different disciplines. For example, a farmer concept of soil moisture is different from that of water resource manager or a weather forecaster. Generally, however, soil moisture is the water that is held in the space between soil particles. Moisture in soil, it is the thing in which what means soil consists of water. As we all know, there is moisture present everywhere, so it is also present in the soil. Soil and crops. Different types of soils are found in different parts of India. Some parts there is clay soil, in some parts there is loamy soil, while in some other parts there is sandy soil. Soil is affected by wind, rainfall, temperature, light and humidity. Soil and crops we are going to talk about. See, there are different types of soil. Basically, if we study about the places, different places the soil is found, then soil is of 6 types: mountain soil, clay soil, laterite soil, red soil, black soil, alluvial soil. But if we talk about the particle size, then soil is basically of 3 types, that is sandy soil, clay soil and the loamy soils. As there are different places in India, so different types of soils are found in different parts of India. In some places there is sandy soil, in some places there is loamy soil, and in some places it is clay soil. And many climatic factors depend on soil, or we can say soil is dependent on many climatic factors like wind, rainfall, temperature, light and humidity. These are some important climatic factors which affect the soil profile and brings changes in the soil structure. The climatic factor as well as the component of soil determine the various types of vegetation and crops that might grow in any region. Means soil is totally dependent on the climatic factor and the kind of vegetation that grow in it. Making pots. Pottery is made by forming a clay body into objects of a required shape and heating them to high temperature in a kiln which removes all the water from the clay, which induces reactions that lead up to permanent changes, including increasing their strength and hardening and settling their shape. So here, as we all know that out of these 3 soil, clay soil is having the highest holding water capacity, so it is very good for making pots or toys. Pottery is made by forming a clay body into objects of a required shape. And how these pots are made? With the help of water and the clay soil. you have seen the potters how they make the pots or toys with the help of clay soil. They are provided a definite shape with the help of heating. A clay body can be decorated before or after firing. Prior to some snapping processes, clay must be prepared, needing help to ensure an even moisture content throughout the body. Air trapped within the clay body needs to be removed. This is called the de-airing and can be accomplished by a machine called a vacuum pump or manually by wedging. Once a clay body has been kneaded and de-aired or wedged, it is shaped by a variety of techniques. After shaping, it is dried and then fired. So here they are telling you that how the pots or toys are made with the help of clay soil. There are different processes. First, the floor is kneaded of that clay soil, and then different structures are made with the help of heating effect. They are provided a different shape and then they are dried up. Soil erosion. Erosion is the process by which soil and rocks are removed from the earth's surface by exogenetic processes such as wind or water flow and then transported and deposited in another location. See, here we are going to talk about the soil erosion, which is the process in which the topsoil or the very fertile layer of the soil is removed by some of the agents like flood, or we can say water, air, which is not good for the area. This is known as the soil erosion. While erosion is a natural process, human activities have increased by 10 to 40 times, by 40 times the rate at which erosion is occurring globally. Excessive erosion causes problems such as desertification, decreases in agriculture productivity due to land degradation, sedimentation of waterways, and ecological collapse due to loss of the nutrients rich upper soil layers. Water and wind erosion are now the two primary causes of land degradation. Combined, they are responsible for 84% of degraded acreage, making excessive erosion one of the most significant global environmental problems. As we all know that soil erosion is not good because it removes the fertile layer from a particular area, and there are a lot of things that are responsible for this. As it was a natural process, as the wind occurs, then the topsoil removes, so soil erosion takes place, but human activities have increased it due to overgrazing, due to construction. So this soil erosion is taking place more nowadays, and which is not good for our environment. How can we prevent soil erosion? Plants, grass and ground cover in the huge expensive gardens and on sports fields. So there are some of the points through which we can prevent the soil erosion. Plants, grass and ground cover, like you can plant lot of grass in a particular your area. You can plant the small plants. Okay. Never leave embankments or slope gardens bare and exposed. Means you have to not leave the field where you can grow the plants at the border of the field. Ensure that homes and other buildings have adequate draining and water collection system. And if the construction is taking place, buildings are being made, then they should have a proper draining and water collection system. Adopt a small piece of land outside your property as your own, and where you are making your home, you can take an extra piece of land so that you can grow there some kind of grass or plants. Create a dislike for bare and open spaces around your home, schools, university, etc. Don't leave the field bare. Just grow some plants or grass over there. Thank you. This was all about the chapter 9, soil.